Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and we do have our co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, who is here, and the link to his channel is in the description of this video as always. Hello, James.
Hello, everybody. Make sure you like the video, comment, and also subscribe to my girl's channel. She got some great things coming up. We are extremely excited, so make sure you show her some love.
Oh, we do have a lot coming. The Valley, Basketball Wives, Somebody's Son, Love and Marriage, Detroit. We have a lot of shows on both of our channels that are going to be coming. So again, subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. Let's welcome Shani. She is in the house. She is the first one. We've said it. We have said it. Thank you for being here, Shani. This is my third live. She's been here for all of them. I appreciate the support. But let's get into this bullshit ass reunion. I'm not even, whatever. They cannot monetize me because what the hell? This was the most calculated, self-centered, the fame has gotten to their head reunion. And based on the clip, how Garcelle couldn't even toast with them and walked away, they know they're wrong, especially Dorit's face. I think Dorit has good discernment and just chooses to do the wrong thing, if that makes sense. That's what I'll say. Hi, Naya. Welcome in. I'm always glad to see you. I hope everybody's having a very good week. Now, everybody's back on stage, and Andy asked Garcelle what things that she has to say or what feelings she has about Kyle, because he's messy. He's like, oh, they behaving on this stage, but off stage is going down. When stuff like this happens, that's when you know you need to change your cast. Because why are y'all arguing in the back but not on camera? I don't understand it. Jennifer Tilly and her snacks was a vibe. I loved it. Because if
Jennifer Tilly has now taken Sutton's place, even though she's not a housewife per se, she is my favorite. Because when I tell y'all, I was hollering. Because I didn't know what that was. I was like, what is she doing? And when she put that in her mouth, I said, not her eating in the middle of the girl.
That was smart to do. Because we know that they take forever. She only has to be there for a little part. I think it's a little, I love Jennifer Tilly. I don't love her as a housewife. She's fun. She's quirky. I'd love to see them put like her and Kathy and some other people who are just rich as hell and have time together on a show, just doing fun, quirky things. But as for this, I don't think she even want to deal with it. Garcelle said, hell to the no. These clear bitches can have it, right? And that's the worst. Y'all seen Dorit's face of that clip? They could not believe that she really walked away because they don't like that Garcelle's a fan favorite. And I think it adds even more egg on their face, the fact that she's a Black fan favorite. And the next fan favorite is also Black. So I'm getting a feeling that pretty soon these existing women, I'm talking about Dorit, and I'm talking about Erica, and I'm putting Sutton in there because she's no longer a favorite housewife of me at all. They're going to be jealous because they're not fan favorites no more. So the Black housewives came on Beverly Hills and said, watch this. And I'm here for it. All of Bose's wigs can go. She's vile, but I'm not surprised. I said it. You cannot trust people who succeed that much and that well in corporate America. You just can't. Not all the time. Some you can, but a lot of them you can't. With her, I want to know how many clear asses you had to kiss to get where you at, because you ain't stayed nowhere. You just bounced around to all these companies. You did one good thing for all of them. So I'm listen. No bow tie, Naya. I cannot. But they're on stage, and Garcelle says that Kyle says things off camera to shut her up. And that Kyle says, and then Kyle responds to that and says that it wasn't her trying to manipulate or shut anyone up. She says that was her effort of being a friend. Kyle manipulates people under the premise of friendship. We all know this.
Yep.
We all know this, so I'm not even going to dig deep into it. But Kyle knows that she is well known in Hollywood. She's been on this show the longest and is one of the longest standing housewives on Bravo. But she's aware too much of the press. She knows how to move. Dorit actually said this. She's like, come on, the paparazzi don't follow Beyonce the way they follow you, Kyle. Like, stop. And Beyonce and Jay-Z at one point was being leaked and all the crazy stuff going on with Mr. Diddy. And the paparazzi wasn't following them the way they follow Kyle. So that was Dorit telling us, Kyle be calling them, which we know. Because who would want to watch her? And I just seen on the internet, I sent it to James. Kyle was she picked at a woman aggressively on the street because she claims a woman was aggressive with her dogs. That boulevard I'm familiar with. If your dog is walking too slow across the street, fine. But why are you and Teddy following this woman and recording her? Kyle pulled a classic Karen move. How you gonna start some shit and then record the person when they respond? I
Well,
can't.
what's gonna end up happening is somebody, Kyle one these days, somebody gonna slap the shit out you. You keep doing some shit like that,
Yep.
and I ain't gonna be mad at them either.
Nope. And it's funny because you could try and sue them and probably won't get nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
Kyle irked me. Kyle really irked me. You doing this? I feel like she used Teddy for a moment, but that's my opinion. Um, but yeah, Kyle is nobody's friend. She's nobody's friend. Um, Andy moves on to bring up how fans point out that Kyle is fake and should not be on a reality show if she wants to keep so many parts of her life private. And Bose points out that Kyle should stand and not talking about her life. And I wish Bose would have worded this differently because I actually kind of understood where she was coming from. When Kyle first came on this show, she was very she talked about her husband, but she wasn't open. No one just divorces with issues out of nowhere.
No, she showcased that marriage was perfect. She showcased that that marriage was flawless, that she was so lucky, and that he did everything, and then out of nowhere, they have problems. She last season showcasing this woman talking about how she's just so different and she brings me laughter and fun. And now this season, you and cold turkey by never mentioning this lady again. It makes no sense. And then all of a sudden, he's out there being like seen with women at restaurants and airports and shit. It's like, where did this come from? We're all confused.
Kyle is fake, and whether she's never been real. I get what Bose is trying to say, I do, but Kyle is not going to stand in anything real. She's the fakest one, I think, in her family and the thirstiest for fame. But also, if you take away Kyle's divorce, there's nothing interesting about her. Never really has been. It's annoying. It's
She's
annoying.
the mean girl that she projected Garcelle and Sutton to be, which is why
Yep.
that was so rich coming from her. That I said that is
Yep.
rich coming from you.
Yeah,
Because
Kyle.
I'm like, ma'am, if these ladies are the representatives of Mean Girls, ma'am, you are the CEO of the company.
I love how they ignored the seasons where they bullied Sutton quite literally and were called mean girls. They defended it. Now Sutton fights back a little bit, and you bitches don't like that she throws stuff in her face, reminded y'all to leave her alone. But yeah, they move on to discuss Dorit and Kyle's friendship. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of fucking talking about it, y'all. I'm not going to go over this. To me, it's tit for tat. They are both equally the same. They are both doing the same things. They move the same, which is probably why they were friends. They both deserve what they're getting from each other, in my opinion. Now, there were some things that were true. Dorit mentioned that Kyle distanced herself after some trip that they had with Morgan, and it was very random. Sometimes, Dorit, when people are busy, they may not talk to you. There's been times I talk to James every day. There's times I may not talk to him unless I'm on live. There's times I'll talk to him every other month. People have lives, and everybody likes to play like, oh, I'm busy. I'm busy. You're not the only fucking one. Other people are busy too. Other people have lives too. So a piece of me wants to tell Dorit, like, if someone distanced themselves from you, then accept the distance. Don't throw a fit. When people show you who they are, believe them. When people show you where you stand in their life, believe them. And then move accordingly. This fight is getting obnoxious. I'm tired of fucking hearing about it. I really am. Kyle does admit she was wrong to distance herself, but she never tells us why she distanced herself. And of course, Andy did not ask because Kyle is his teacher's pet. I don't really care about the distance. Before I move on to discuss other stuff with Kyle and Dorit and the situation, I want to give James the opportunity to offer his opinion if you have one thus far.
I don't have an opinion on it because the shit is stupid. And I feel like no matter what Kyle says, I'm not going to believe it. So what
Yeah.
she said at this reunion, was not believable. She didn't even have a reason of why she distanced herself. And we all know it's because you didn't want there to be speculation from anybody with you and this lady because of how it was going to make you look compared to what your husband was not doing at the time that it was exposed. That's all that was.
I want to know what Kyle knows about Dorit's personal views on same-sex relationships that made her feel like she had to distance herself to get closer.
Because that's why I think it is too.
Because what it's weird. And Dorit gives prejudice. She's clearly racist. I don't care. Y'all can think that just because she's friends with Bose is cool, but back in slave days, house niggas existed. So I'm just saying. It irks my soul. Let me get the comments. Naya says Kyle wants us to play deaf, dumb, and blind, and we ain't having it. Exactly. This was the first reunion where they actually applied pressure to her, but I feel like it would have went further if Andy would have applied pressure instead of hiding behind the fans. She said the fact that Andy had to soft check her is wild. It was so soft. If Kyle had different skin, it would have been a much harder check.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna wind up somehow getting the Fox Force whack ass 5 together again and ice Bose out next season. I don't think that they'll ice Bose out because Bose, see, and none of them like Sutton, but I don't think they would even ice her out from the group. Half of the women on this cast, right? Except Garcelle. Erica's broke. Dorit is broke. They are gonna always kiss the ass and put up with the BS, I think, from Sutton, Kyle, and Bose. That's how I feel, because we watched Kyle all season have an issue with everybody else asking her to show the text. But when Bose talked to her, she was willing to do it. So you could tell this is an elitist and classist group of women. So they're always going to give a person a pass who has more money. That's what I've noticed. He said, did you hear the rumor about Lisa Rinna holding a meeting with Kyle, Erica, Dorit, and Bose about ganging up on Garcelle at this reunion? I'm not surprised that Platypus Face has done something like that. I did hear the rumor a little bit. Someone has sent it to me online, but I was just like, Lisa Rinna is like trying to make fetch happen for those who watch Mean Girls, and it's never going to happen. You know? That's how I feel about Lisa Rinna. She needs to worry about where her husband's tillywhacker is going.
She need to worry about them lips and see if she can get them back flated again. Because once they inflate, I'm scared of what it's gonna look like. Just saying.
I cannot. Not Dorito is a salty chip. No.
She is, and it's very obvious. It's like, ma'am, you ain't, like Sutton said, you're angry at your life, and you want to take it out on other people, and it's very pathetic.
Yep.
It's very pathetic. It's like, ma'am, take responsibility, admit that you married the man for money, and now that it's run out, you don't know what else to do.
Thank you.
That's all you got to do, and we would understand, because everybody does, like, not everybody, but a lot of people do this. A lot of people marry for wealth, and when the shit runs out, you become haywire like Erica Jane over there, who's just sitting back, just smile.
Yep. And Dorit loved to remind everybody, I went to college. A lot of people do. They're still stupid. College don't train you in life. College trains you to be organized at work and in a specific skill.
Which you're not of. So it depends on Dorit. This is where she killed me with that shit, because it's like, ma'am, for somebody who went to college and likes to gloat about it, where are the businesses today?
Well, I guess her degree wasn't in business. Shani said everything that came out of Kyle's mouth was bullshit. You see that? Oh, damn. You see that damn crystal kept jumping out of her hand. The crystal couldn't sit still. Kyle was full of it. Did you see that video? We spoke on it a little earlier in the live. Kyle, I think, put that together. In real time, if you're a celebrity as big as her and you don't have security with you, you're probably not going to just be chasing down women and things like that. To pull out a phone, it was classic Karen. Do something to somebody else, poke the bear. Mind your business. If somebody's doing something crazy to their dogs, that's why you call animal control or the damn police. Record a video of what she was doing to the dogs, since it upset you so much. Send it to the police, or use your platform to put her on blast if that was the case. She didn't do that. I don't trust it. I think it's weird to even start an issue with somebody while you're walking with your good friend who is going through stage 4 brain cancer. Stop, Kyle.
And that's another thing. I expect this from Teddy, because you would think you would want, to be in the best positive spaces you can be during this time, Teddy. But for you to be sitting up there doing this with Kyle, man.
We don't wish anybody to be sick. We don't wish Teddy harm. But there are so many people who have cancer who are not on a platform.
Right.
Teddy, I don't know where she's finding the time and strength between the PET scans, the surgeries, getting the mets out her head, the chemo, all those things, plus her kids and her divorce. I don't know how she's finding the time to do so many interviews, and she's still keeping up with her podcast. I wish her well on her health journey, but I still don't like her enough to have her on TV. Bitch, they would have said, girl is where it's always been, referring to Lisa Rinna's husband and some man's backside. Yep. Y'all watch the show Shameless, not the UK version, the American version. And Ian Gallagher was sleeping with the older man. The man was Harry Hamlin in there, and he was real comfortable in them scenes. I said, ain't no way. Actor or not, like, who's an actor that said that? Terrence Howard. He's like, I'm not going to play nobody gay. I don't want to kiss a man in scenes, things like that. And that's his right, and that's okay. But Harry, we been new. Shani said, Lisa out there talking about it was the fans that got me off the show. Bravo didn't get me off the show. Who cares, bitch? As long as you're not on the show no more, I don't want to see you.
Okay, I didn't care how it happened, as long as it did.
We didn't like Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna's career has kind of always been all over the place. I feel like her relevancy is just because she was on soap operas in the soap opera prime time. Like when everybody was in the soaps, that's when Lisa did it. And then everybody got into home shopping, and then she did that. So Lisa Rinna just had good timing, but in real life, I don't think she's that damn talented or nothing to, look into. I agree with something about Dorito. Dorito is super skinny. WTF, it looks sick. She's stressed out and broke. Y'all seen them clips of her house when she talked to Kyle and that house was empty and a mess? She ain't got the money. She ain't paid her mortgage. Nobody's just missing their mortgage payments for a business deal. Don't be fooled by these people. They like to hope that because we're not rich, we won't understand it. James, have you ever heard of anybody?
Don't ask me that question.
I couldn't even get it out.
No, don't ask me that question.
I can't. She said the Crystal said, I can't stand for these lies, and jumped. The Crystal was so upset.
I mean, I felt like the Crystal was insulted that Kyle picked it up off the floor. I feel like the Crystal is saying, leave me on this floor.
Leave me alone. Let me be. Shanny, I'm cracking up. I love that you watch Shameless. That's one of my favorite shows. I love it. I love me some Frank Gallagher too. He's fucking weird, but I do. But yeah, I remember that. He didn't just smack it too. He cupped it. I said, oh, Harry's having a time. And at the time she was on Housewives and they kind of alluded to things, but she didn't want to talk about it. But let's stop giving Lisa Rinna energy.
Please.
Now, Kyle keeps trying to say that this show gives Morgan Wade anxiety. Just because she don't want to talk about the bitch, I'm going to say her first and last name. Because we didn't know who the fuck she was prior to this. Maybe some of the clear people who listened to her music knew, but the rest of us didn't know. And she's not that great of a country singer. I've heard better. I'm just saying. But she says that the show gives Morgan anxiety. And Andy mentions that Morgan is a public figure who was well known and famous before she got with Kyle in country music. And music is something you can get to so many people. People who don't watch TV could listen to music. You know what I'm trying to say, y'all? So, yes, Morgan is a public figure. And you would think that she would view being on Beverly Hills, which Andy also pointed out, as something that can help her career, get her more fans, cause people to want to hear more of her music. I mean, for God's sakes, they played clips of her music on the show. We've seen her sing on the show. We've seen the music video on the show. We've seen all of these things. So if anything, that's benefited her career. If this woman's anxiety was so bad and her sobriety was so important, the bitch shouldn't have come on fucking reality TV. And I want to look into Morgan Wade further, because why are you talking? Because I think they're dating, allegedly. But if they are allegedly dating, why are you dating a woman who could be your fucking mama? Because Morgan Wade is young. Kyle, this is an old woman. Okay. So irks my soul, irks my soul. Kyle tries to overtalk everybody. She tried to do the mile a minute talking. She's not used to being held accountable at reunions. And I was happy that she was trying to bullshit her way out of the Morgan thing. Well, she doesn't want to be here. That's her right. I shouldn't have brought her into this. That woman has a choice. She could have said no, just like she did this season. So just because she says no doesn't mean we can't talk about her. She's a fucking country music singer, Kyle. You can't tell us not to talk about her. You can't. So I was happy Andy Cohen mentioned the music video, and like they were like, people want to talk, let's give them something to talk about. Dorit mentioned that too. And Kyle, we know you full of shit. I was just glad they somewhat held her accountable, but they could have done more. But I just don't think that Dorit and Kyle will ever be cool again, if that makes sense. But how'd you feel about the little segment where they was talking about her and Morgan?
I'm a side real quick, just because to see her just lie and bullshit with everybody is kind of like, it insults us. We know what we were looking at. That lady wasn't no bit more uncomfortable being on this cameras than you were in that music video kissing her. So I don't want to hear this from y'all. I really don't. I feel like what it is that you had to take a step back because you realize how this would look while you're still married to your husband, and he can get your ass for infidelity. Because his shit wasn't out there the same way yours was. His shit just got out there. So I feel like you had to take a step back because you wanted to look like you were the wife at home crying about how much you miss this husband and how much you miss him being there, and you didn't think it would ever get to this point. And you wanted
she
to
did
look
ask for a separation, and the only things he's done has been during the separation. So that doesn't count as infidelity in court.
No, it would for her because she wasn't separated at the time Morgan was on the show.
Ah, that is true.
Yes. So she realized, oh shit, I'm about to have to pay this man because it looks like infidelity.
I don't think that Kyle or Mauricio will ever divorce. I feel like she's so classist that she doesn't want, because once they divorce, everything's going to come out. And I don't think she wants it to come out. So I think she'll stay separate from him for some time.
I agree with that. I think so too. I think that they're never going to divorce because I feel like she's going to prolong it because she doesn't want to have to pay him. So, and I wouldn't either. So that's why I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't blame her. Stay married to him as long as you can. Let him do whatever he want to do until it tires him out, and then take him back. That's all you got to do, because I feel like that's what she's doing.
Shani, this is a good point. I think in season 1, I think she was worried Kim's drunk ass would have let some stuff slip, and I think that's why she did too much. It doesn't make it right, but I have a feeling that's what it was for. Andy was 100% right. She got all this publicity from the show. We didn't know who the fuck she was. Right. She's being exposed to audiences that normally would not know who she is. Something like, it's crazy. She is a sugar mama, and Morgan is allegedly the sugar baby. She's mad Mauricio found a new girlfriend, and she's embarrassed hers on national TV. Damn. That's a word, though. It's the truth. Kyle should have been reading the paperwork before she signed stuff. You could tell she didn't. I think maybe she was trying to make him jealous with Morgan, and it backfired, and he broke out. But why?
Why? Because that doesn't make sense either. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Sleeping with a woman. Most men would be like, yeah.
Right. Like he would celebrate that and try to get in on the action. That's why I'm like, I don't think that was it at all. I think she really did fall for this lady. And she didn't care that she would broadcast it on the show because she didn't think maybe it would look the way it did and that it would have the ramifications. And I'm thinking she's in her mind because, Kyle is pretentious. So when you think of somebody who's pretentious, this looks like you're cheating on your husband. And it automatically makes you the bad guy. Regardless of whatever cheatations he has going on, it has not come to light. So that's why she wanted to kill Joy this entire situation coming into this new season and look like this martyr syndrome woman. That's why she did it. I'm telling y'all can't tell me differently. She did it exactly this way, just so that way it won't make her look bad. But you're too late. We already saw for what it is. That's what I'm saying. You might as well have kept going.
Abiste Winnie said, "Hi, Abiste Winnie. Happy Thursday. I hope you had a good week, by the way." She said, "Pay him what you think Kyle has more money than Mauricio."
Absolutely.
I personally do not. I think that she probably ran through her childhood money doing some things. I think she has brand deals. I think she has, what do they call it? Assets and things of that nature. But in terms of actual income, I was covering what's it called? Buying Beverly Hills, the show that Mauricio had, and it made me want to look into it because that's just something you should do when you're recapping it. And his company is very profitable. So
that she has stake in.
Huh?
That she has stake in. Remember that.
She has stake in it, yes. However, we've also seen and watched on Buying Beverly Hills that she really doesn't do anything. So she could get a piece of the money, but he also has other deals and other things. He has a lot also. I feel like they're equally yoked when it comes to their income, is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like, okay, if I put it in a scale of 100% of their household, I think she's 55, he's 45.
I don't think that. You got to look into his company, and then I think.
No, I'm looking into. No, here's the thing. I looked into it as well. I did, and I see what you're saying. However,
look into the other ones also, because he has other ones that aren't
ones that don't have her name on it.
He has other ones that don't have her name on it, and with them being married for so long and likely without a prenup, I think they are equally yoked in income. Yeah, thank you. Both of them are actually worth around 100 million. Both of them.
Combined or together? Or separate or together?
Pretty sure it's
separate. Are you sure?
Not sure. Let's see.
Yeah, because I don't think, honestly, y'all, I'm being real. I think she has more money. I really do. And I feel like the money that she has is not public. The same way Jennifer Tilly's money is not public.
Where would it come from? Because she said she was a childhood actress, but her and Mo were broke when he started the agency.
I feel like, depending on what she invested in, I feel like the Hilton thing is probably she invested in something and she's living off of that.
Both of them are actually worth 100 million. Okay, we got that comment. Well, I don't know what she would have in Hilton because that was a big premise of Buying Beverly Hills as well. Not just with Mauricio, but with other agents that left Hilton and Highland to come to the agency because they are not as profitable anymore. There's a lot that's gone on with their companies. I figured it was separate because they both do well. I think they're equally yoked. That's what's taking so long. But this helps to confirm it. People like to think
Kyle still have to pay him. I do. Based on
that she'll have to pay him.
I think so. I do.
I don't think he would take that.
I don't think he would either. No. I don't think he would take it from her. But I feel like she's had money longer. I feel like they're gonna make her pay. And she was the one who got caught first.
She did have money longer because she was getting a check on the show. The men don't get paid on this show. So if we're counting her Beverly Hills check and the endorsements that came with that at first, yes. Because for those who watched from season 1, we watched him build up the agency. We literally watched it. It wasn't much of nothing. And he built it up into this huge global real estate company. So I definitely see what you're saying with that because she had that. But when you go to court and you divorce, they're not looking into that. If both people are financially stable and don't have debt, then I don't feel like they're going to look at and say, oh, you had this money then and he didn't, so you're going to have to pay him. I don't even think a judge would suggest that. They definitely are equally yoked, but I also don't think that I don't think these people have paperwork. And like you said, they have stakes in each other's companies because they've been married for so long. So I feel like the separation of that, right, he needs to let it go. I feel like the situation with that.
Let's make some clear. I know you're playing with me this day. I know you're playing with me, but I don't really give a fuck about these two. I really don't. And to me, I'm just gonna let y'all know a secret. If she had to pay him alimony, that would be her just due because that's what she get.
I doubt she would though, because they talked about for how many seasons? 14 seasons. How everything they've done from getting real estate licenses to building the agency to, him working for her family, like they seem to have done things right in terms of businesses and finances as a couple to be equally yoked, which is a good thing. However, because of that, they need to get a post-nup and then divorce. That's just my opinion.
It's too late now. I wouldn't sign it.
Yes.
It's too late now. No, I'm not signing no post. After I didn't put 25 years or 29 or whatever it was that they said, I'm not. No, we're not signing no post-nup. Oh well,
That would be so awkward. Like, look, I know I want to leave you, and I talked about you publicly,
right?
but
No,
I need you to sign this paper so I ain't gotta pay you shit, even though I asked you to leave.
Yes, no, I'm not signing that. I'm sorry, you ain't getting no signature out of me. It is what it is. And see, and I feel like she the type that would do that too. That's why I'm just like, I'm not signing that shit. Sorry. We split everything down the middle.
Listen, love or not, I think that love and business are separate. I make income doing my lives and stuff on YouTube, mostly for the music, not quite for the recaps, because I put myself on other platforms and honestly, they're better than YouTube to make money. But if, let's say, I was to become like a multi-millionaire or something, somehow doing recaps or blow up the way Kempire did overnight, yeah, I'm presenting Mr. Best with a post-nup. If I work for something and you helped me with it, then of course in the post-nup, I'll give you something, but I don't want to end up in a situation like Miss Ma'am, who owns Nana's Chicken and Waffles for our Housewives of Atlanta fans, where locations is closing, money is being lost, and all of these crazy things, all because of a divorce. So if your spouse really loves you and you're like, hey, I need a post-nup just for my own good favor, then, you know, go over it, sign the paper, and then move on. The fact that they never did this because she was so busy chasing fame is crazy. But to get back on subject, y'all.
Yeah, I would get a post-nup too. I would still give Gio half regardless of it because I would just do that, but I would get a post-nup as well. Just because
Absolutely.
I want to be the one to give it to you, not you to be the one to take it.
Absolutely. Especially as an author, when you put out more books.
Oh, he can't get that because that was before.
Yeah, but you know,
he can get that.
Anything else that you do, it's just smart to protect. Everyone, anything that you work hard on, you should protect. And your loved ones should understand that. But moving on, y'all, we have to discuss. This was the most annoying segment of the reunion. We have to discuss PK and Kyle talking. Kyle says that she only mentioned sending PK and Dorit a text message when their divorce or their separation was announced. They ask Kyle, everybody on the reunion stage asked Kyle how she feels that nobody believes her. Nobody, not the audience, not the cast. Nobody believes her. Erica even admitted to not believing her, but we know Erica just goes wherever the popularity is at because she's being taken down right now. Tom Girardi's been held guilty and accountable. Now they're seeing that she has to as well. So all them people who was telling me, nope, she didn't do it, or nope, they're not going to get her. She's getting got right now.
She's getting got, yep. And there's even more that's coming out now. So I'm just like, y'all want to protect this white lady at all costs. And it cracked me up when she was sitting there when Kathy was like, I was talking to Miss Girardi. She goes, no, honey, I'm Mrs. Girardi. And it was like, okay, well, what's your mama's name then? Like, she still holds on to that as if it's a flex.
It's not a flex. It was like, never a flex.
Wow. Even when a flex, yes.
Even when that man and her were together and allegedly happy, even when they were together, we knew that you was only with him for money. You did not look at that man and get moist between the thighs. Don't sit here and tell me that you did. Don't laugh at me. You do not look at a man like that and your kitty cat purrs. It don't work that way. It doesn't. It's the truth.
I gotta go on mute. Hold on. Go ahead.
Because she knows what she was doing. It's the truth. Erica irritates me, y'all. She the worst of the worst, in my opinion. She learned some things, like James points out. You could tell that she really did absorb a lot of what she could learn from Tom, which is all the more reason why these people are holding her accountable for these cases. Because how are you going to have an LLC in California, a state where you can have businesses separate from your spouse? Well, how are you going to have an LLC and not know what money goes into it? I can't. What? Okay, I'm gonna behave, y'all. I'll be good. I'm just saying.
I tell you, I had to go on mute because I'm laughing way too hard. You went way further than I needed you to go.
Lord, she probably doesn't want her mama to like be harassed. which I actually can understand. Her mom ain't commit the crimes Tom and her did, and
She
it's no
didn't say the
longer
nigga's
alleged.
first name until like Kathy pressured her out of it. It was like
she don't want to expose her family. People genuinely hate her. And I'm talking about the victims. People genuinely have a strong disdain against her. And especially after how she doubled down on not giving a hell about the victims and only caring about herself. They were so mad after that aired. The Housewife and the Hustler Part 2 was made. And there's actually a Part 2. And she really offended a lot of people. So I think it's smart for her, because if they can't get to you, they'll come to your mama. And her mama probably somewhere in Georgia living a regular life, because we know Erica can't afford to give her the life she used to have. Thank you, bitch. What did she say? You don't look at a man like that. I can't marry for money unless he look good. That's me too. If I do marry for money, you got to at least look good. You have to. I ain't about to be closing my eyes, clicking my heels 3 times while somebody's deep in it trying to think about Morris Chestnut or Denzel in Training Day. I'm not going to do that just to get off. No, you should be attracted to your partner. But hey, the money mattered to her so much so
yeah,
that
so much so, yeah. So now look at it. She wrote it into the very end, and now going to be suffering the repercussions. Because I told you, ain't no judge finna give her no divorce.
nope.
Ain't no judge finna give her divorce. Yeah, that man finna be going out to the glory, and she finna be a widow. Like
He
it's
made
not
a
gonna happen.
joke of California's legal system.
Yeah,
Not just Tom. He made a joke of judges. There are judges in power that shouldn't be because of him. People not in power, unable to practice what they went to school for because of him. People missing arms and limbs and legs because of him, and not giving him their victim money so that they could pay for the appropriate medical procedures. It was horrible. 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 Welcome in, Miss J.
hey, why I got to be all that?
Hmm?
I'll just play. I'll just play with her. I'll just play with her. No, good night. Thank you for coming, Miss J. We appreciate you.
Welcome in. I always love to see you here. Lord
You
help
said
us.
look
We
good,
got,
smell good, got some damn sense along with some money.
yeah,
You
they
know what's
gotta have that
funny?
at least.
You know, if y'all met me when I was 27, first starting out dating men, I was Erica Jane. I was Erica Jane. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to find me a come up, but didn't care what they looked like and everything. I went on a date with somebody, and when I tell you that breath smelled like something that literally I felt like I seen in the forensics lab, I was done. And I was like, nope, I got to have some standards and morals now. And look at me now.
I work for Department of Disability and Aging, and as they age, things start to smell differently. But
Child, yes.
back on subject, y'all. Nobody believes Kyle. They asked Kyle if she would have an issue if Dorit was texting Mauricio. I said, of course I would have an issue. I mean, it breaks girl code, but ain't no but, bitch. You wrong.
You wrong. And the fact that she was trying to justify that, it was like, okay, you really finna have us go on Dorit's side of this, Kyle, really?
That's what made me mad, because Dorit, when it comes to Kyle, is right. With everything else, she's wrong. Like, Dorit, you must have forgot how you treated Sutton when you were so up Kyle's ass. Sutton don't owe you shit, bitch. But we will get to that in a moment. Kyle is not willing to admit any fault. And I feel like Doris is dumb to even try and argue with her. You know what I mean? Like, it just bothers me.
No, you're right, because she's never going to get what she wants from her, which is for Kyle to admit that she was wrong. She's never going to get that. You're never going to get that, because Kyle's pretentious ass will not allow that to happen. That's why I'm saying people who are pretentious are scary to me. They really are. Because it's like, you can't see the fault in anything that you do, but you want me to have some allegiance of loyalty and properness that you don't even hold yourself accountable to.
Listen, Shani said, Kyle, you're such a liar before, which is true. In previous episodes, she did say she would have no problem with it. Oh, thank you, Miss J. Thank you. Very kind.
What is nice say?
Huh? What'd you say? It cut your voice off.
Oh, I said, what is not Erica Gold? Sorry, I was trying to go up to read because it went away.
I'm a give me time.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it up there.
Okay.
I'm just addressing in the comment chat. Keep moving. Let me scroll. But yeah, it irks my soul. It all irks my soul. Now I gotta find the comment again. Erica Gold Digging, Nay Girardi. By the way, I was pissed her middle name is Nay, too
No,
close to
I was
mine.
pissed off on how she said that. Because to me,
Why?
I kind of felt like that was a slight like dig of a misappropriation. What's that called? Color misappropriation?
Cultural
Cultural.
misappropriation.
Yeah, there. Thank you. The way she said it. She said my maiden name is Nay because my dad said that my mom he called her Nay Nay, so that's what they. I was like, Erica, really?
I mean, she is from the South, and my
No, it
whole
was the way
family is
she
from
rolled her
the.
neck and did it. It was like, oh no. And see, if I was Bose, but Bose ain't no real, color
I
folk.
don't know. I feel like that was actually a thing because I actually know some. My grandmother's good friends with somebody in like
I'm not saying it's
deep
not a
rooted
thing. It was the way she
Mississippi.
said it. It wasn't. It was an undertone in the way she said it.
I mean, it's her middle name. She mentioned the origin, but I get what you're saying because she has made other comments. But with this comment, I don't see that. We went over that. She is a victim. She has to be a victim so that she can't talk about her life.
Her life, yep.
Nobody can stand Kyle. That's why everybody was sitting down at the reunion. Nobody can. She's terrible.
I'll be Jennifer Tilly eating.
Right. Like y'all bitches just want to argue. I'm gonna eat my food and enjoy my money. Oh, that's what she does. She cries. Erica dig for gold and not dug for gold and found a nickel.
And look, it worked until it couldn't work no more.
It's true.
And then she tried to get out of it before she got some stains on her dress. We all saw it, and that's what she get. And see, a lot of women do that. They try to get out the shit before it catches on them. But no. Whoever that judge was said, no, man, we're going to see how this play out.
I'm glad the judge at least did the right thing.
Right.
But Bose mentions that, yes, Kyle is a liar, which I love. They just stayed on Kyle pretty much most of the episode. And stuttering, Kyle. She kept stuttering. Crystals was bouncing and Jansen. Kyle couldn't get her words right. She was stuttering. She was talking fast as hell. She said her middle name is Nay and it came off as she thought it was ghetto. She probably does. Mm-hmm. It probably does. She's from the South, so I don't put it past her. I don't put it past anybody on this cast the way that they treated Garcelle when she got here. But I'm just like, I'm trying to give her some type of grace because she's
we don't need to give her no kind of grace. No, we don't need to give her no kind of grace. That's the problem. We don't need to give her no grace. I saw the undertone in how she said it, and it came off as if she was realistically trying to make not necessarily a jab, but kind of like a stickler of like she'd been, in those spaces. And it's like, ma'am, you have not. And I'm tired of her doing, because she does it a lot. She does. She does it a lot. That's why I'm just kind of like, and it pissed me off because she continues to do it. And it's like, but when someone calls you out on it, then you want to talk 50 miles per hour and trying to intimidate people. I need her to do the whole, I need a real Black woman on there. I need the Nene that she was trying to put herself out. I need somebody like that on the show.
The problem with Bravo is there's not enough Black people working behind the camera. And it sounds bad to say I've given up on this show for like getting it right with the microaggressions, the racial undertones. I've given up on it. They can add as many colored people as they want on this doggone show. It's not going to change the cast. It's not going to change production. Production will make sure to show African-American women in the craziest light whenever they are able. I think that's why a lot of people came for Garcelle. Now, if Garcelle was rolling her neck and getting in people's faces instead of gracefully walking away, people would be like, we have a show, but still mad at her. But people will feel like, oh, we have a show she gives. It's the audience of this show is also notoriously racist. Really, I feel like as a Black community, we should have spoke up about it or stopped watching the show. But now they put some Black people on here, so I'm going to give it a chance. But I don't see this show going in a good direction with Bose because Bose is, we're going to get to Bose in a moment. She said the Crystal doesn't even want to be there with Vile Carl. Right. Bose mentions that Kyle's a liar, reminds her that omissions also count as lies. I hate people who do this. You cannot keep information from someone and not tell them the truth about something and then say that you didn't lie. And that's what Kyle does. they move on again to the PK issue. And Kyle admits to telling PK why she and Dorit were not speaking, but she swears that she didn't talk shit about her. I can't see you positively saying to this woman's ex-husband, who you know has a beef with her, who complains to your husband about her. I can't see you complaining in a positive light. So I definitely think she was talking shit to PK. I definitely think that because PK came on this show as Lisa Vanderpump's friend, and his wife was in the mix. Kyle was Lisa's friend. They were good friends for some time. So it would make sense that she had been around PK and had experienced things. So it would make sense for them to have a friendship. Dorit needs to realize that people only deal with her because of who she was married to. Nobody actually liked you. That sounds really mean, but it's the truth. It's genuinely the truth. Now, they mentioned something I didn't like. When Dorit's son was in the hospital, apparently Kyle reached out to PK and not Dorit, which is awkward. If you're going to text them both a separation, maybe text them both when the baby's in the hospital. And why are you talking about her child even being in the hospital? What if they didn't want nobody to know that? And then Dorit reveals that she knows that PK and Kyle do have a friendship, and it's more than memes because PK tells her everything, which I fucking believe. They're separated. And I can see PK telling her that. He sings like a canary. So to me, they're tit for tat. I'm sick of it. I personally do not care. Yes, Kyle kind of wrote girl code, but she knew PK first. So that's
yes, I agree with all of that. And I feel like yes, PK does tell Dorit, but I don't feel like he tells her just out of like the way she may seem. I feel like he tells her as a stain.
Of course.
To make it seem like, yeah, Kyle will be on my side at the end of the day as like in an argument or something. I feel like that's how he does it. And that's why she has such a problem with it.
How he does it doesn't really matter. If your friend is going through something, then
no.
Don't talk to either of them, or
that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like that's not what I was saying. What I'm saying is he says it to her as a way to say, I knew her first and she gonna have allegiance to me before you. And I think from Dorit's standpoint, is she's been on this show with Kyle, having her back. And I think that's why she's angry at it.
I mean, it really don't matter the reason why he's telling her at all or how he's telling her. But if he's telling her these things, all that matters to me is it does prove that she has a friendship with him, which we already know because we've watched it. I don't understand why she lies about it. As for Doris,
the thing about it is, once again, Kyle is pretentious. And she knows it does not look good. So she's trying to make it to where it would seem somewhat normal for her to do that because it probably was their relationship all along of them communicating. And I think
that relationship.
Yeah, and I think that it now looks bad because Dorit and PK are separating. It looks bad. So
but they're separated. When Dorit says, and it's the other part, if Dorit says we are going to get a divorce, then it's like, okay, Kyle, choose a side. But right now, they don't know if they are going to get a divorce. At least that's what she tells us. So nobody can really choose a side right now.
I'm like, girl, should they get off the pot? Yeah.
It's annoying. I'm tired of all these people announcing that they don't want to be with somebody, which is her right to take her time and figure out the separation. But Dorit, you cannot throw a fit at Kyle for talking to somebody who she knew before you when you can't even say for sure that you're done with the person. What happens if y'all get back cool? The double date to be awkward because then PK will be like, because we know how PK is. He's a little girl missing teeth he's a little girl with some yellow teeth, and he would absolutely have a problem with that. So they're both wrong to me, and that's why I say it's tit for tat. They're both wrong. Nobody cares. But let me get into the comments before we move on. Why is this stupid StreamYard never acts right for me? Never does. Ghetto is an outfit for these women, so they try it on. I mean, Kathy Hilton is ghetto as fuck, and nobody blinks an eye because she's rich and kooky. That's the truth. That's the word. Kathy be doing some stuff that's just rude.
It's very questionable. It's very questionable, but then again, I feel like, that saying where God only watches out for babies and fools. comes to play, I always think of Kathy when I hear that line because God knew he was doing making her marry a rich man. Because I can't see Kathy in regular society. I just cannot. I can't see it.
That's the truth.
I feel like that's the reason why. She is horrible. But once again, God watches out for babies and fools. If y'all don't believe me, look at Kathy.
They like Bose because she will dance for the Karens. That's how she. That's how she succeeded in corporate America. We've been saying this on this channel, and that's what made me like, oh, I don't think this will work out well for Garcelle.
I was excited about her coming on this show, and now that she didn't came up here and literally showed her ass, it's kind of like, oh man.
I knew when you showed me that wig from that picture that it wasn't going to work. That told me she's so distant from her people. She's so distant from her people that she couldn't even. I agree. They have a lot of gay white men behind the scenes. And just because they are gay does not mean that they are down. Yeah, I think that I don't like when the gay community does this. Don't try to couple your struggle in with the struggle that people of color go through. Because people can look at you and not know that you're gay. People cannot look at me and not know that I'm not Black. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely empathize with that.
No, and I think the thing about it is there is a huge difference because gay white men in society do not go through struggles like all the rest of
them. That is true. But even separately, to be gay, no one will know. To be Black, you cannot hide. So I think that I see that a lot online when I'm watching little podcasts and just little shit on YouTube. Not like recappers, but just people interviewing people and having opinions and things. And you can't compare that to being Black. Just because both are not a choice doesn't mean that you can compare it. Because I can not make a choice to not be Black. I can go get skin lightening and stuff, but I'm still have to check that box when putting my ethnicity somewhere. If a gay man decides to go and date a woman, he can make that choice and do so. It may not feel right. It may impact their being, but they can hide that. That's where terms like in the closet come from or come out of the closet because it's something that can be hidden. You can't hide your skin color. So I feel like that is a problem behind the scenes at Bravo on all of their shows because that is primarily who's working these things and they got to figure it out. It seems like they kind of put Black like production workers onto the Black shows, but we know that the decision makers are not. Yes, Kyle is a pick-me. She's been that. It's sad. Doritos is angry at Kyle because she is tired of having Kyle's back. Kyle is all about Kyle. Yeah, Dorit just thought that she would get some grace and
no, Dorit thought that initially, no matter what, Kyle was going to be what she's not, which is what she proclaims to be as a girl's girl.
Yeah.
And Kyle is not one at all. And that shocked me when she said that because she goes, I have daughters, I have sisters, I have a family full of women. Yeah, we saw how you treat them too. So I mean, yeah, like okay, that's being a real girl's girl the way you treat your sister in the back of a limo, all because you don't want her to spread your business. If we really believe, because I believe that too.
Let me see. I agree, James. I agree, James. He is telling Dorit because he wants to rub it in her face. But the point is, Doritos, Kyle is lying. Yeah, Kyle is always lying though.
She is all lying. Right. Yeah, she's a big old liar. That's why she gets away with what she gets away with because she's allowed to do so. They don't want me on the show.
They don't
want me on the show because I'd be best friends with Jennifer Tilly and I would make her do my dirty work.
Lord help us. Now, speaking of Jennifer Tilly, that's who comes out next. And they asked Jennifer about the comments that she made about PK staying in the Beverly Hills Hotel on the after show. If you have to put stuff that happened on the after show in the reunion, then maybe make these bitches give more on the actual show. Just saying. But Jennifer Tilly told no lies. The Beverly Hills Hotel is extremely expensive. PK and Doris still owe money to the Bellagio, several casinos. They owe over, I thought it was just $1 million. It's over $2 million to Vegas casinos. So how are you affording to stay in a hotel and do all these things? Now, Dorit says that she had assumed that Jennifer took the dark side when referring to Garcelle and Sutton. And I'm just kind of like, stop it, Dorit. You're going to call it the dark side, even though Garcelle sat there and tried to help her a little bit with it. And when they showed the clip of the after show, Garcelle was like, ooh, you shouldn't say that. But you're going to call her the dark side, even though she was the one who was like, that's not okay to say. You're going to align Garcelle as the dark side when Jennifer Tilly made a comment. So you can like this woman and love this woman who basically pointed out that you and your man's is broke. And because she pointed that out, you think she's aligning with Garcelle, who tried to actually defend you in that moment?
She was trying to make an excuse because here's the thing. I saw this in Erica too. Jennifer Tilly is a huge flex that can back up her shit. And if you can't really call her out on it because you know the fans are going to jump down your throats, because you know it's saying Erica and Dorit are calculated. So they knew the moment they go at Jennifer Tilly, the fans of the show was going to come after them. It's different when it's Garcelle because Black Twitter already came after Dorit for the racist shit.
That's true.
And Black Twitter already came after Erica for that shit she did with her son. So they already know what to expect. But to go after another white woman on the show that has said some crazy shit that we all believe, because I agree with Jennifer Tilly. I did. I said, how the hell is he afford the Beverly Hills Hotel when that shit is expensive? And we know it is expensive. So cut the shit out. Your house is in foreclosure. Like, that don't make no damn sense. So they're not going to go after her the same way. So they're going to align her with them and say that she was trying to join the Mean Girls, because that is a way to seldomly say, I'm about to read you, but I don't want Twitter or anything to come after me because they've taken a liking to you.
Again, I've been calling Dorit racist even prior to Garcelle being on this show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that any of these women, because mind you, these bitches ain't from California.
Right.
But even if you are from California, there are little pockets that you just don't go to if you Black. But the places that people like Dorit and Erica are from deal with racial issues. So it wouldn't surprise me. They do not go through the same struggles, and they can still be racist, but still try to act like Black women.
Yep.
She called them witches of Eastwick, bitch. And you over there looking like Skeletor.
I mean, just hungry.
Porit had the nerve to call people witches. Girl, go pay your bills. You mad at your life. Thank you. She is.
See, I'm mad at Garcelle and Sutton for that.
If I could pay my bills on a small income, then Dorit could pay her bills when she's got brand deals, endorsements, all these different things. She can pay her bills. They chose not to have fun. And I just don't respect them worth a damn.
You know what it is they live on the higher bracket of their income. I honestly, like I said, I don't believe Dorit can afford her mortgage with the endorsements. I think she has to wait on the Bravo checks. I do. I think she has to wait on the Bravo checks, and I feel like that's what happened. That's why the house is not pre-foreclosure anymore. It's because they waited for her to get her check so she can pay it off up until it's current. I do. That's what I believe. I'm going to say allegedly to protect your channel, but that's what I believe.
I don't even believe it. I gotta, because somebody commented last week, pre-foreclosure, someone in real estate is not an actual thing. And I looked it up and they were right. It's not. So the whole thing was some BS. But moving it along, y'all, because I'm not feeling well. I'm so sorry. Kathy comes out. They discuss Kathy interrupting the fashion show. Of course, they let it slide. We learned she was talking to Erica's mama. Now, they move on because I didn't care about any of that. I'm like, if y'all not going to hold Kathy accountable, I'm not fucking talking about it because that was rude. Now, Kathy then says that she heard that she was an Asian woman because she said that she was Chinese in 3000 BC, whatever the fuck that means. And she says she learned this from a woman at a fashion show in Italy or somewhere overseas. And she says they also asked her about her shadiness because she made some comments about PK, talk about he looked 56 10 years ago. I said, oh shit. When Kathy tries to clean it up and says, I meant it in a good way, because now he looks so much better. And that didn't help either because it was like, damn, he got sober and got off of Doris and now he looked healthy and looks his age. I cannot. So things with Kathy, I don't really care for her. I don't really get the hype with Kathy. Like, she's funny at times, but I'd rather have Jennifer Tilly. I think Kathy has figured out what people like from her on this show. We have to remember who she's related to and how they move. And I think that she's giving us inauthentic, little behaviors and things of that nature. Now, Erica says that Garcelle and Sutton suck up to Kathy. And she says this on Watch What Happens Live. They played the clip. And she looked angry when she was saying it. Like, you can tell that Erica is mad as fuck that this Black woman is doing better than her, look better than her, and is thriving. And the other country bumpkin that she probably thought would align with her is not, and is also thriving. So I'm just looking at Kathy like the whole segment was strange. Real quick before we get James's opinion, Dorito got robbed twice and is still broke. She couldn't say shit to me. I would read that fake accent to filth. Right. That is the truth. Oh, thank you. I caught the bug. The flu's going around. I feel horrible. And I'm very excited to take NyQuil and sleep after this because I'm going to run out of voice soon. She was talking to a psychic and I didn't think she wanted to say that on TV. The rings on PK's double chin should tell us his actual age. Naya. Kathy wants to be so relevant that she always has to do the gimmicks. Everybody falls for that shit. It's not authentic. I regret to inform y'all, it's not authentic. And anyone who studies people, I believe Miss J does, we can tell it's not authentic. I think she uses some of her little gimmicks as like a way to get out of uncomfortable situations, which some people do. They turn to laughing when uncomfortable. But I think 95% of it is her doing stuff so that she could stay on this camera because now she's getting a little check. She ain't got to ask Rick for his debit card. So yeah, that's how I feel. James, how did you feel about Kathy coming out in her little segment?
Same shit, different reunion. Her dress was ugly, and I didn't like the part where I'm trying to think of what she said. It was something against Sutton. When she was trying to go after Sutton at the reunion, Sutton had to go to the hospital or whatever. I didn't like that.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about as a whole. Sorry. Okay, well, I'll wait till you get there
then. They then ask Kim and Kyle. They ask about Kim, and Kyle. I don't know if anybody caught. James, did you see Kyle's face when they asked about Kim and Kathy was like,
go ahead,
he's doing better? Why the fuck are you mad that Kathy is telling them that Kim is doing better? Why did that anger you, Kyle?
It takes the spotlight off of Kyle.
Because we like Kim. That's the sister we want on this show. Because Kim won't give a damn. When she brought that Easter, that little bunny to Lisa Rinna, I said, oh.
No,
I love Kim.
It was the fact that she was gathering, even though I love Eileen, y'all, Eileen is one of my favorites as well. But when she gathered Eileen and Lisa Rinna at that table and got caught, she took all of them on at one time because she said, y'all going to stop talking about me and my addiction. It was so like, and she read them so effortlessly. It's like, yes, that's why I love Kim. I do. I honestly hope she gets it together. I do. I really want her to get it together and just make one final season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she doesn't have to come out to the show anymore.
It's hard to do when your sister makes a fool of you and reveals to the world that you're a raging alcoholic, and then you have issues in the press. Like,
this is where you start exposing some of her shit.
I actually think that Kyle is bad for Kim, and a lot of families don't talk about that. When your loved one struggles with substances, and it seems like Kim always gets back into the alcohol after she gets close with Kyle again. Have you noticed that? I'm trained to look at patterns, so I look into patterns, and they have sick patterns in their family. Kathy is always good with Kim. Kathy tries to stay good with Kyle, but Kyle is the only one that can't get along with nobody. So I definitely feel like Kyle is a negative trigger for Kim. And it sounds like there's a lot we still don't know that Mauricio and Kyle may have done to Kim, but She definitely triggers her. She definitely triggers her. And I think Kyle knows it, but like James always says, she's pretentious and she's classist. And people like that usually struggle. She's also a narcissist, but people like that struggle to change, one, and they also struggle to admit fault. And if they do admit fault, there's always going to be a but afterwards. And that's the worst thing you could say. I'm sorry, but if you didn't do this, no, are you sorry or are you not? Shit. I hate when people do that. But that was a weird segment with them. They move on to discuss Sutton's friendship ceremony, and they discuss the word weaponized because fans pointed out how Dorit can say the word "see you next Tuesday," and it's really annoying that Bose got mad at Doris being told that she has misdirected anger from Sutton. And I'm just like, this is about the fans, Bose. Stop defending this woman. Stop it. Stop it. That's why you look like you're going to an African picnic on this fucking show. Stop. Just stop, Bose. If you put more effort into getting a better wigologist, I know Tokyo Styles had to be available. She got the money. If she put more effort into that, maybe she would see things. Bose, stop minding business that doesn't mind you. It has nothing to do with you. Let this woman defend herself. She has been on this show for several seasons. She doesn't need your defending her. And you watched it. And she's been ganging up on other people. And that's how I look at Bose with the side eye. Because I'm like, how can you say that you watched the show and see the egregious behavior of Dorit and then come on here and feel like she needed to be defended? It looks like the fakest bonded with each other. That's what it looks like. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I don't understand why Bose is involved. And she thinks that Sutton doesn't take accountability for her actions. Bitch, you haven't taken accountability for that wig on your head. It is 75 pounds and not glued. You haven't taken accountability for anything, Bose. Anything. You were up Dorit's ass. The audience felt that way and you doubled down on your thoughts. Like, I can't stand Bose. I can't. Go ahead, James.
I didn't say her either because I feel like for me, I'm trying to figure out what accountability does Sutton need to take when Dorit started with her first. I'm trying to figure that out. If Bose can explain that to me, then we can. Because here's the thing. The only reason why she felt the time to come after you, Bose, is because you were trying to chastise her about how she was talking with Dorit on the sly. Yes, you did it in a way where it didn't look like that on camera, but when you actually peel back what you said and how you tried to address Sutton, it was 100% you were chastising her about coming after Dorit. It was 100% that. And that's why Sutton said you came in strong. And then for you to say I am strong, that actually doubles down on Sutton's feelings of how she felt, because she felt like with you, like, whoa, where is this coming from? And let's not forget, Sutton brought you on the show as her friend. So, you know, I am like, I'm just like, I'm so over her. I just really am. I'm over Bose, y'all. I don't even know if I want to watch next season. So we have, she was definitely that clear ladies protector. She was. And here's my thing. If Dorit was in the right, I would feel differently for her doing that. If Dorit was in the right and it was actually Sutton attacking her in an instance of that, I would feel like, okay, I could appreciate it. But it was the fact that Dorit was playing a game like everybody else. She was nothing different. So for you to align yourself to want to then protect her and be her pit bull on this TV show, it shows who you really are, and we don't like it. Remember that they said that reunion calling someone evil is worse than calling them. Yeah. It was Erica and Dorit and Kyle. They were saying that, and we all looking at them like, okay, whatever, people, whatever. Let me see. What's the next comment? Bose wigs need accountability, girl. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, that shit is 75 pounds on her head, and she ought to be ashamed of herself. But as I said, at least she's consistent, because I found a picture that was back in 2008, 2009.
I'm glad you did.
She still had that kind of hairstyle. So she just loves big hair.
It don't look good on you, Bose.
It don't. You need.
And she's a beautiful woman.
She reminds me of Grace Jones. She need a shortcut. I want to see her with a shortcut. I do.
That would be
It
pretty.
would look so cute on her. I really do. They gaslight Sutton when she reacts. They're all up. You know what it is? Because these women are getting divorces. They're angry at her because of what she got.
They know they ain't gonna get it.
They know they ain't gonna get what they know, and that's what it is. And I wish they would just admit that, and then we can move on. Because they're angry that Sutton is getting $350,000 a month. They're angry that her husband was able to wire her $1.7 million into her personal checking account for just because that was in her divorce settlement to do so. They're angry because she owns 2 minor league baseball teams. That is actually the biggest flex of anything, because when those men get signed, they get a cut of that money. That's the reason why people invest in those. Y'all, I came with them. I'm mad at Sutton right now. I really am. But I'm not going to negate the fact that these women are hating, and that's really what this is.
That's a good point.
I felt like Tyra Banks. I was rooting for Big Bag Bose, but she bitched up for the wrong team. I was rooting for her as well.
Oh, the black community threw her ass. We didn't even throw her in our good cast iron skillet. That bitch went straight to the trash. No bag or nothing.
Right, because we gave her the most opportune chance. And she fooled us, because when she was bonding with Garcelle at first in the beginning, it was like, okay, we finna get some black girl magic. And as I told y'all, if Bose realistically was for black people, her, Garcelle, and Sutton could have changed the whole trajectory of this show.
Bose is not. I think whenever people have to speak about being about something, like if you have to say you're a boss, if you have to say you're honest, if you have to say that you're for black people and you are constantly saying that, but your actions show something different, you're not. Sometimes the people talking the loudest and the most are the people you got to watch. I don't give a flying fuck if African designers designed you from head to toe, because they didn't design you appropriately for this reunion. So you actually did them a disservice. Beautiful dress, just did not fit this reunion. Bose is the worst kind of nigga. She'll smile in your face. She will smile in your face for a little bit while trying to bury you with Clear Man. And that's not how it should be. I don't like Bose. I don't like the way she moves. Even the comment she made, that was a red flag to me earlier in the season when we first met her. I thought I would marry an African king, a black king, but then I ended up married to a white man. Girl, I feel like you never wanted no king.
Mm-hmm. No, you was taught that your color is a disgrace, and you fell for the okie doke.
Yep.
A lot of black people do it.
That's true. That is true. And there is a colorism issue also in our community, especially for women that are older. It's a little better in recent times, but for women from back in the day, like if you were chocolate, you were not viewed as prime real estate as a woman.
Yep.
And a lot of they wanted a red bone. So hey, it is what it is.
If you aligned yourself with the whites and have the children that are fair skinned and everything, you felt somewhat a part of society that ignored you. That's just all that is. That's just all that is. And I feel bad for her because I want her to get help for that. But she got a black man now. It's a very questionable relationship, but she has one now.
Hey, let them be. I hope he has a key. Now. Sutton mentions Dorit yelling in her face, saying, "See you next Tuesday." And Bose had the audacity to say to Sutton, "There's another way to deal with being yelled at. But I ain't hear you tell Dorit she was wrong to yell. Just because you mad doesn't mean that you get in somebody's face and holler that they'll see you next Tuesday. Send Dorit to Zeus. Send the bitch to Zeus. They got white girls over there. They sure do. Send her to Deuce and let her do the same thing that she did on this show. And I want to see her lose her teeth. I want to see it. I really do. Or send her ass to the Housewives of Atlanta. Portia might put her hands on you, but the rest of Portia and Brittany might put their hands on you, right? But the rest of them not going to do that. They'll just read you for filth. Send her to Potomac. They will really read you for filth. If you put her in the space with other people, she would just be red. She would be red. I cannot stand that Bose would sit there and say that Sutton has to respond better to somebody disrespecting her. in a way that most people, like where I'm from, you get in my face and holler the way Dorit was hollering at me, I'm snatching you by the throat and we fighting because I'm gonna feel threatened. I promise you.
I wasn't even mad at. I was more mad at the fact that you took this lady's purse and wouldn't give it back to her and say it's mine. And then when she awkwardly told you, "Girl, give me back my purse," and then you want to then call her an alcoholic on the slide because Garcelle asked if there's alcohol in the beverage.
Listen.
Me personally, I thought Sutton handled her with grace by calling her just a bitch. I thought Sutton handled that with grace because I would have cussed her the fuck out in her home and then walked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would have too.
Don't let Mary get her.
Mary will ruin her.
Mary will make her start crying. Because Mary will go to the gutter of some shit that is we all see. Mary's gonna say what we be saying on these YouTube reviews. And she's not gonna want to hear that. I feel like everybody give her grace with the reads they want to give Dorit because it's easy to say she's angry at her life. We all see it. But Mary gonna go into some gutter and see some shit that we all think but we forget about and get her. And I wish Mary would do it.
Mary, we know you got properties. Some of them are struggling right now, but you got one left in LA. Go on over, Mary. Because Mary does know how to handle, and I think living in Salt Lake City, it's a city that's predominantly Caucasian. Like, not just, and that's like including all races. Yeah, there's other people living there, Black people, some Hispanic people scattered around, but that city is almost.
Mary would be perfect on Beverly Hills.
She knows how to handle this type of women with this type of statue when it comes to income.
And I could see Kyle kissing her ass too. See.
Not send her to Zeus and she will be homeless and toothless.
Damn. That was
in California, y'all should Google what's happening with that right now. So Dorit may be in the same boat as Erica pretty soon.
I read about it, yet.
Miss J is funny for that. That was great. That will live rent free in my head. That's all they do on the network is fight. That's all they do. So they move on more, and I'm gonna say this, Bose, you're a bozo. That's how I feel. That showed right there that Bose is not fair. Because if somebody yelled at Bose like that, she gonna do something. I guarantee you she will. Now, they move on to discuss Sutton interrupting Dorit's sad ass story about her son and the divorce. And, Andy made a point. Yes, Sutton could have went about it differently, but production told Sutton to interrupt Dorit because she talks too fucking much, which she never seems to want to work on. She doesn't want to admit that. If a bitch was coming at me, starting beef with me, hollering, see you next Tuesday in my face, calling me fake, literally picking a fight with me, because Dorit has thrown the first jab with all of these people. And then production, my boss says, can you interrupt and tell her to stop? I'm not going to do it with Grace either. Yeah, we got to go. It's a 2-hour drive. Let's go. Sorry, bookie. That's it. And move on. It's like Dorit expects the utmost respect and the utmost amount of empathy and sympathy from the people that she treats like shit. It's baffling. It's absolutely baffling. It's baffling. Now, they discuss Sutton's money comment, how she said, I think my wallet's longer and bigger. Why was everybody so offended? Y'all just mad somebody came on the show richer than all of you heifers combined. Erica's in debt and probably on the way to the slammer, Corcoran, High Desert, Pelican Bay, San Quentin. She's somewhere. She's going to end up somewhere, Erica. And Dorit broke. Her husband spent all the money incorrectly, and she's not spending her money on the mortgage. Bose is okay, but she wouldn't have come on this show if she was truly okay. I think they all are jealous of Sutton having the money.
No, I think they all thought her husband was going to dog her out. And he didn't. He did what he was supposed to do when you end a marriage for somebody who's been there when you didn't have a damn thing and help you build up your business and probably went through hell when those businesses were probably struggling in the beginning and then got to where they are. See, y'all, that's the problem. Y'all husbands did y'all dirty. And the fact that her husband didn't, y'all are some angry ass, bitter ass women. And so that's you have no choice.
Really good point to bring.
Yeah, it's because that's what it is. So that's why I was not mad at the Wallet comment. I really wasn't, because I feel like that was no different than Dorit calling her a drunk. That was no different.
Honestly, Dorit calling Sutton a drunk or even alluding to it was worse than Sutton reminding us that her wallet is long, because we didn't know shit about Sutton's wallet for a while. It took years of her being on this show before it was finally revealed through paperwork, not from her mouth, how much she makes.
Yes.
Just in her alimony. So just Sutton is actually humble and is not just throwing her wallet around. She's actually tried to throw her wallet at some of you bitches to help you, Erica. I feel like Dorita's also low-key upset that Sutton won't make her the same offering that she made to Erica. But Erica and Sutton, prior to the issues that came out with Tom, were getting along great because they're both from the same place.
And I think that's why Erica felt slighted. Because there's no way, if Sutton said, I can lend you $250,000, you ain't got to say nothing, you ain't got to do nothing, pay me back when you can. I just want you to have some cushion, because one, the IRS can't take that from her. And then two, you're able to live comfortable until you can figure out something. What friend that you just met is going to do that? Like, come on, y'all not gonna make, even though I'm mad at Sutton right now, I can't take away from the fact that she was willing to even do that, and she has the money to do it. It just makes me feel like y'all are jealous. Y'all are jealous.
Yep. Thank you. But I really, really think people need to pay more attention to a point you made about the fact that, yes, all these women are getting divorces, but Sutton, you can get a divorce and still have someone willing to give you something. Your spouse don't have to just take you to the cleaners. It don't happen every time that way. And I do think that's probably a big reason why they're jealous. I'm sick of it. Now, Dorit tries to read, and she couldn't read Sutton at all. Sutton lives on a main road, girl in a gated community. Stop playing. You live in the part of the rich areas in LA. I've seen Dorit's house. You could just get in. That's how the robbers drove up in
East Pheno. She does not live in Beverly Hills. Sutton lives in Bel Air.
Right.
Like, we're not going to act like Bel Air is not one of the richest parts of LA.
It absolutely is. A lot of people think it's Beverly Hills, and it's actually not. Beverly Hills just has all of the stores that the rich like to shop at. And they do have some of the wealthy, but the rich
is in Bel Air.
That's where they at. And if you remember back to season 1, that is where Lisa's big ass mansion, the first one, was at, and Adrian's.
Yep.
Houses as big as my apartment complex. And I live in a huge apartment complex. And
wasn't Camille's house up there too?
Yep.
Yeah, Camille's house was up there as well. Yeah, so y'all,
like, come on, Dorit, your neighbors are the people who are cast on the Valley, which we will be covering once it comes back, which is about in 5 days. But it's like, you live next to people who, you know, are doing well, but they're not like wealthy rich. And it's okay to not have housewives that are filthy rich, right? But I think that they feel a little pressure because this show did start with filthy rich women. And then there was Kyle and Mauricio's little house. But Sutton living on a main road is not a big deal. As quiet as it's kept. Beverly Hills is clustered as fuck. So is Bel Air. They build a lot of houses right next to each other. That's why when these wildfires happen out here, it's so devastating because they spread so fast. The houses is only an inch apart from each other. Hell.
I just don't understand how that was supposed to be a jab at Sutton.
Because Dorit proved right here, like, she's done okay in the season. If Dorit sticks to calling stuff out as it happens, fine. But I don't like how she'll hold these grudges, talk forever, and then call stuff out that makes no sense. So what if Sutton lives on a main road?
Right.
So what? She can hire a man to live in her house and do whatever she tells him.
Well, here's the thing.
And pay him well. Can you, Dorit?
I'm sure Sutton's house is paid for in full.
Yeah. The way she remodeled that thing.
Yes, I'm sure it's paid for in full, Dorit. So I wouldn't give a fuck if it was on in the middle of conjunction on a roundabout.
That's right.
It is still in her name, paid for, and she knows what's going on.
And maybe that's why Sutton is rich and you and your ugly nigga is poor, Dorit, because the rich and the wealthy make better choices. This is, again, my example of new money and old money. There is a fucking example to that. There really is. Old money ain't always going to flaunt it. And just because they have it doesn't mean they're going to buy it. People like Doris and PK get it. And as soon as they get it, they spend it. Because ain't no way you was a manager to Boy George and then you in this much debt. That means that y'all have been financially irresponsible for well over a decade. So you saying that somebody lives on the main road whose house is probably paid in full. She lives on the main road and probably has lots of extra spending money because she lives within her means. She ain't got no other kids. Her kids is damn near grown. She's got one kid left in the house who's going to graduate and probably is graduated. You coming for somebody and who did not stem for you, and you coming for somebody who has what you don't have. So it's crazy. You have the women outside in the heat at your house. At least Sutton can provide the women with some damn slippers,
well,
AC.
No, you at least at her house, she had comfortable conditions when she threw a party.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
It was hot as hell.
It was hot as hell. I could see the sweat on everybody. And all Erica was doing was eating the more raw ass hot dogs you were serving.
Them hot dogs look nasty. I ain't never seen hot dogs at a barbecue not with the grill marks on it, but okay. But it's Dorit then tries to say that there's more to life than a large bank account. And I took that as her admitting that she's broke. Because then she tries to say, I have love. Yes. Anybody with kids has love. Your kids love you. And if you have living parents, whether you talk to them or not, they love you. That don't mean you can't be miserable. You can have love and still not be happy. James, I'm going to use you as an example in a respectful way.
Okay.
He went through a hard time last year. He's in a great place now, and I'm very happy for him. But he went through a hard time and was emotionally struggling, right? For good reason. He had a lot of love. His mama loved him. His family was there. And I know he had the support of myself and other friends. But that still doesn't mean that he wasn't struggling because he was going through something emotionally difficult.
Right.
I say that to say, Dorit, just because you have love in your life, and you could tell she was trying to also use that as a jab towards Sutton. Sutton got kids too that love her. Sutton got kids too that love her. Sure does. And Sutton can sleep at night knowing ain't nobody finna rob her. Dorit, no. I agree with that Miss J comment about them being ghetto fabulous, living paycheck to paycheck. But at this point, Doris then says that Sutton buys people. And I'm like, who has she bought? She's a kind person, yes, but who has she bought? And my thing is, I don't like how Sutton moved this season at all. I don't really fuck with Sutton no more. I don't like a follower. I like people with their own minds. And until Sutton gets that, I'm not fucking with her no more. However, y'all cannot expect for Sutton to lay down quietly while you guys consistently attack her to the castmate. So it irks my soul. It just irks my soul. It really irks my soul. Let me get the comments and then we'll get some more opinions from James. Ooh. This is true. Kyle, Erica, and Dorit have no room to talk about slights and shade. Learn to keep up, hoes. They mad at her wallet. They are. They are. I would have told poor Reed, bitch, I own my main road home. The deed is in my name. Listen.
When I tell you she would have got a mouthful out of me. Sutton, you could tell Sutton really didn't want to ruffle anybody's feathers and everything like that. I don't know what she was on. I was like, Jennifer.
She's a pick me.
I said, Jennifer. I was Jennifer too. Did Sutton take something?
She's a pick me. Sutton always moves funny, but I don't like her no more, like at all. She's a pick me. This is pathetic to be this damn old and that damn rich to be worried about some bitches broker than you.
I'm trying to tell you, I would have stood 10 toes down in my wallet fit comment. When I tell you, I'd have told Dorit right there on that stage, I said what I said, and it ain't fucking changing because you hate me.
Right. I would have said it again.
Because my husband, at least when he left me, he made sure my ass was okay.
Yours don't like you.
Yours don't even like you. Yours don't even want to be in the facility with you. When you got robbed, he said that after the fact, you're making it about you and you're being superficial about it. Versus saying, oh my gosh, we'll do whatever it takes to make sure you're mentally okay.
And it's funny because Dorit keeps hearing that she's superficial, shallow, and lacks sustenance, but she doesn't change anything to make us feel like she's deep, and she's not. And her mama deeper than her. Hell, I watched Dorit's mom over her.
I would too, because Lisa lady keep the shit real.
All money isn't good money. That's the truth. Dorit and PK remind me of ghetto fabulous people, paycheck to paycheck. Yep. How you go to the hood and everybody in the hood got the freshest, their newest pair of Jordans. I'll be going to my neighborhood. I'll be seeing people in Givenchy, Tom Ford, Cho belts, and all that. And I'm looking, for those who don't know, I'm from Oakland, California, deep East Oakland. Shout out to the town. I'll go to my neighborhood. I'm from the Shady 80s, and it's a very poor area, right? All we got is welfare offices and taco trucks. That's some good culture. There's other things. But you go to the hood, niggas coming out of the house on Section 8, and they got on the freshest of fresh, got about $10,000 worth of jewelry, clothes, name brands on them. Because they're getting that discounted rent when that could have went towards them owning a house and never needing Section 8 again. Like, listen, paycheck to paycheck. And the same thing happens with people like Dorit and PK. Don't think it's just black people doing these things. It's clear people like her too, just living beyond her means. You see Erica's face when she said that. Dorit wanted to be bought off with a purse. Thank you, Naya. We could really just put this comment up there. And I'm surprised, James, that nobody brought that up in terms of the fan questions. Like, y'all want to make
you know
a beat.
Why nobody really brought that up? Is because it would have been too easy for her to deflect out that. No, I didn't want the purse. I just thought it was very cute. And yeah, if she bought me one, we wouldn't have half the issues we had. And it was like, so you're trying to still allude that she can buy your friendship if she bought you that purse. See, y'all have to watch. I'm glad they didn't bring that up, because to me, it kind of would have alluded to the point of her saying that Sutton buys her friendships. Sutton is very generous, but I don't think she buys friendships. First of all, her best friend is richer than her. Let's go forward from there. So how could she buy her?
That's the best. Can we get James on to Watch What Happens Live?
Because I want to know, how can she buy her friendships when her best friend is richer than she is?
That is the truth.
Her best friend owns 2 houses next door to each other and doesn't go in one of them.
The only difference, for those who might bring up the Kathy thing as an argument, is Kathy and Kyle, they use their money to silence people. I believe they use their power to blacklist people. Jennifer Tilly ain't mad at nobody.
She not. Jennifer Tilly, let me tell you, Jennifer Tilly lived like the most, like, I don't want to say it's, because she's not frugal. She buys good quality shit. She do. But Jennifer Tilly has such a relaxing element of her life. Like, she literally is like a walking peace treaty.
When you happy with yourself, it shows. And I think Jennifer is a good example. Not you think Sutton's on some anti-anxiety. Your friend is a pick-me, Jennifer. She saw it. But I like how she let her friend like defend themselves. Like, Sutton needs to defend herself. If you're not going to defend nobody outside of Kyle Sutton, then
I need the Sutton that read Erica for filth, because Erica was trying to skate around that bullshit, and Sutton was the only one that was like, nope, I'm finna ask these questions. I don't give a damn about how she feels. I got to know if this affects me. I need the Sutton that read Teddy for absolute filth on her very first season. I need the Sutton that went after Lisa Rinna and dropped her Amex on the table and said, I paid for you to get a seat, ma'am. Don't ever try to lie on me again. I need that Sutton to come back.
I don't understand why she's kissing ass.
Yes, like, why? What is it about Kyle that you like? To me, it's given that you wanted to sit at the popular girls table in high school, and Kyle was the head mistress of that table. So you wanted to get in good with her because you know she could sit there. Man, this ain't high school. Grow the fuck up. Because Kyle, as quiet as it kept, ain't even the head of the girls table. We just give her that title because we tired of hearing her mouth.
Yeah. Honestly, if that Halloween movie didn't come out again a few years ago with Kyle, I don't think nobody would care, because people were pretty good. But people love them franchises. Parit is projecting. She is. She is. Who's pregnant?
Who's pregnant? Channy, who's pregnant?
Right.
Because all these women is over 50. Can't none of them get pregnant?
It better not be me. Don't put that shit on me, Channy.
Okay, Bose. Bose is the only person I'm thinking of right now that could potentially be pregnant. Even though when I was looking at her ultrasound, I felt like those were fibroids again growing back. But that ain't.
Miss Sutton said that to Teddy her first season.
Oh, that's right, she did.
Hmm.
Sutton got Teddy together, and I was happy for because y'all know I don't like I hate that she's going through what she's going through. I do because my father was diagnosed with stage 4 when he found out. So my heart always is going to go out to her because I would definitely want her to beat it. But at the end of the day, on the show, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that lady worked on my fucking nerves. So yes, I was not mad when Sutton got her together. I just didn't. Pregnant or no, I didn't care.
Yep. Nobody cared that he was pregnant anyway. No shade. We want you to have a safe delivery, but I can't stand Teddy. But that was it for this part. It looks like I'm curious to see how Garcelle walks out. I think that it's good that someone walked out on them. And I think it's funny because Garcelle is good friends with LVP. And this is what LVP said, fuck y'all, I'm not even coming to the reunion. But, we know nobody, cancer is, I hate it. So many people lose people from cancer.
Yeah.
It's sad. You see people in great health catching it as well. They used to tell us growing up, you eat too much McDonald's, you might catch cancer, or you want to not eat fried foods. Now people eating right and still catching it. So I couldn't imagine going through that. But we still don't want Teddy on the show.
We don't want Teddy on the show. We don't want her, no. But we definitely are going to pray for her well-being because we don't want that on. I wouldn't want that on anybody.
And she got them small babies.
And then, them small
just
babies.
Had a baby a few years ago. It's sad. That's really sad. Yeah. It's so sad. But that was it for this part of the reunion. We'll be back next week to go over the next part. I'm hoping that I will feel better. I am COVID positive, and apparently I also have influenza type A. So I'm going to go to bed. I'm hoping I'll be better next week, but I will be on James's channel. Go ahead, James. I don't know.
She will be on my channel this weekend. We have the premiere of Love and Marriage Detroit, and we have the premiere of Somebody's Son, who is also a show on network. And you guys understand, I do not like the concept of that show. I am picking it up, and I'm sorry for anybody who gets offended by me talking about somebody's mama. They shouldn't have brought the show on TV, but I will be picking up both shows. I think that me and Mrs. Best will be doing that on Sunday. I believe Sunday was the day we agreed on. So
I'm available now. My job put me out. They said come back when you better. So
I'm available.
Open schedule for you.
Yeah, I'm available Sundays as well. So we're gonna do. It comes on Saturday. It's gonna be premiering this Saturday. Right after.
Oh, James. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. There was a show because James always tells me to tell him if I see something. Are you interested in covering the reality show about the Bravo kids in New York? I believe Brooks.
I'm gonna give Riley. That first. I did see that. I'm gonna give that a first episode trial. I'm gonna watch it because I don't like any of the kids. I don't like Brooks. I don't like Gia. I don't like Ariana. I don't like the other old girl that's on the show.
They got Damon Dash's daughter on there. Random.
Yeah, that was random.
Riley needs to get a stylist, a hairstylist. Her mama got her walking around looking crazy.
I didn't even recognize her.
She looked old and she's barely 21. I
didn't even know that was her. I didn't know that was Riley until I saw Candy. I said
her hair is wild.
So yeah, I'll give it a 1 episode trial. I'll watch it and then I'll let you know if I want to cover it. Because I don't like Brooks. I don't like Gia. I don't like Ariana. I can already tell it's going to be controversial for me.
That's good.
They're grown. Yeah, we'll see. It's a
controversy brings views and subscribers for you. Yay! With an online statement.
I'm happy she did. Even though I don't like Bethany.
You don't understand. Baby girl, you grown, but stay the fuck in a child's place and help your mama pay her taxes.
Even though I don't like Bethany, I still loved what she did. I'll put it like that. But yes, Mrs. Best gets some rest. I will text you a little later because I got to go see my dance. So I'm tired. But
That's a good thing.
yes, I need to go to sleep because I got to go to work later. So but I will tell you guys later. Thank you for having me.
All right, everybody. We will see you guys next week. I almost said next month on my channel, but we will be on James's channel this weekend. So be sure to subscribe. For those who are new here, the link to James's channel is always in the description of the video. I hope that you guys click and support him. Other than that, thank you. I love you all, Thug Life, and I'll see y'all in a few days. Bye-bye.
Bye.